Greetings and salutations everyone, Crimson Nero here, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy. In the last episode, we started the game and gathered our merry band of adventurers and went off to save the princess of Cornelia, Sarah. In this episode, we're going to go save the world! But first, goblins! As you cross the bridge into the open fields beyond, you encounter a group of goblins. You can tell that, while weak, they are still determined in order to beat your face in. That's how DMing works, right? Actually, yes, it is. Trust me, I have been a dungeon master for almost exactly as long as I have been playing Dungeons and Dragons. And also considering that I have such great dungeon masters as inspiration, like Chris Perkins and Matt Colville and Matthew Mercer. Just my DMing is just getting better and better. Just, you know, like any good hobby, just the more you do it, both in terms of being a DM and being a player in my case, just the better you get at it. But yes, I'm going to be talking a lot about Dungeons and Dragons in this LP, which hopefully will be very interesting to you guys, especially for those of you who haven't played Dungeons and Dragons before, or who just don't know that much about Final Fantasy. Just maybe either, or maybe a little bit of both. Who knows? But yeah, just I might tell some stories. I might, I don't know, just talk about Dungeons and Dragons just in general. I mean, I already do that enough as it is, but if there's ever a time to talk about tabletop role-playing games, it's while you're playing role-playing games on video game consoles. That's a good thing I picked up this antidote, otherwise I'd be kind of in trouble. Matoya's Cave. Ouch! My eye! My eye! Ouch! I can't see a blasted thing without my crystal eye! Who could have stolen it from me? It was me, Dio! My eye! My eye! Frontwards, backwards, any way you see, such a strange spell to swish swishery. Dash button select. Okay. Let's try that out. Wait a minute. Oh my gosh! There's a world map! So here's where I am, there's where we were, and the entire world is open to us. Frontwards, backwards, any way you see. Yeah, it's the same thing. Okay. Yep, they all say the same thing. We're good. Wait, I need to check every single pot in here. It might be like Pokemon. You check the garbage can and you just get stuff. Hey, there's a chest! There's 3 chests. A potion, and an antidote. Ooh, the antidote is probably the most valuable thing in all those chests. Alright, same stuff. Back to adventure! But yeah, we gotta find a way to get Matoya her glass eye back. But first, wolves! See what I mean about the person in the first spot taking a lot of the brunt damage? Also, one of the things that happens the more that you level up is that, depending on what levels, you either you gain the ability to cast stronger spells in case of casters' abilities, but also the thing that I wanted to actually mention was in terms of physical attacks. So you see how when Cyrus just hit there it said 1 hit, but whenever I attack I have 2 hits? Depending on what class you are and also what level you are, I think it's tied to a certain stat, maybe speed or something. I don't know, I normally don't pay attention to the stats too much. But yeah, just the more you level up, the more hits you'll be able to do, and with the more hits you're able to do, technically the higher the damage, so that's kind of like, I've been talking to a lot of people recently about RPGs, just in general, and like how you should, like what's good design for them, because of there have been some people who are designing. Oh no, Cyrus! There have been some people who I've been talking to recently that are designing RPGs, and they were telling me about how their system is kind of like. It encourages you to like use up your big special moves and your big spells and stuff instead of just ooh, nice critical. Instead of like saving them for the bosses and stuff, which depending on the game, you really don't have that luxury. In this game, yeah, you might want to save up a couple spells for a boss. In Shin Megami Tensei and Persona, no, that, like you need to cast spells. That's the only way you're gonna survive. But yeah, like I was telling some people how like. I wanted to see their games have just the normal attack option as still a fairly viable option, because like, hey, what happens if your game like has an MP system and you run out of MP? Like obviously you need a way to defend yourself, but some battle systems in RPGs don't have like an actual resource, or it's a resource that gradually recovers or something. One really cool way that I see attacks in RPGs still being a viable option is in some of the games in the Tales of franchise. I'm specifically talking about some of the earlier ones, or kind of the middle-age ones, so like from Symphonia onward to maybe like Vesperia, because especially in Vesperia, you can do, in Tales of Vesperia, you can do normal attacks, which every time you hit something, it slowly replenishes a little bit of your TP, your technical points, so that you can use your arts to do cool, bigger attacks that do more damage and stuff like that. So I like it when a combat system encourages you to do one thing, but doesn't forbid you from doing another option that's also a viable tactic. So just food for thought. RPGs, game design. Nice. Wow, this is a mixed party. You got 3 wolves, 2 of which are warwolves, blah, 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 blah. And then you got 2 goblin guards, and a regular goblin, and just a regular wolf. It's like 4 supers, but 2 of them are one type, 2 of them are the other, and then 2 small fry, each of a different type. Just, we got like a living Pokedex here of different enemy types. Or maybe they're all gonna die, I don't know. I did not hit them, I did not. Oh, hi, officer. Honestly, when it comes to a lot of RPGs, especially that take place in like a medieval fantasy style, in a medieval setting, like a lot of the times, unless you're like a city guard or like a knight or something, basically like the world itself is kind of like the Wild West. Like it's there to be explored and conquered in some cases, and really just adventurers are the ones who kind of just help settle a lot of stuff, both in terms of locations and rules and stuff like that. I mean, interesting stuff. I'm just gonna run up to this wolf and just beat it over with a giant hammer. And we win! Alright, we're almost at our destination. I believe the next town we're heading towards is Pravoka. Cool stuff happens in Pravoka. Oh man, Cyrus, you are really low on HP. And then again, that's probably going to be the typical thing for you for a while, especially if you keep on getting low scoring level ups. Cyrus, no! Cyrus! You keep on getting just 1 HP level ups. You need to get healthier. I mean, if you were really going to get, like, have a low level up, it might as well be on the spellcasters, because just, they're squishy anyways. The spellcasters are all kinds of squishy. Meanwhile, the people on the front lines, the tanks and some of the DPS, they need to be big and bulky. They need to have all the muscles. All of the muscles. Meanwhile, this ogre here is just kind of like, oh, you have muscles, I have muscles. My name is Hans, you already killed Franz, and we are here to pump you up. Actually, this is the first ogre we fought, so I guess what I was just saying is wrong. I was wrong! Ooh, that was a good amount of gil. Cash money. I know it really doesn't make much sense, but just having battle systems where you actually gain money after random encounters is always nice. Because like there have been certain video games that are just like, you shouldn't get money off of random encounters unless they're people, and even then, just like, it doesn't make sense to just loot the body of a wolf and just to have like 5 gold come out of it. Listen, it doesn't have to make sense 100% of the time. It's a video game. Pravoka! Please help us! I see pirates. They are on the horizon. But first, shop till you drop, my dudes. I got some iron armor. Ooh, that's expensive though. We can at least get some shields. Ooh, some leather gloves. I like how whenever you're buying stuff whenever you're buying stuff in the crowd, every party member that you can like equip the thing to, they're just kind of like, me, pick me. They're so excited, they're just kind of like, I'm raising both my hands for this. Praise Bahamut. Alright, let's equip some of this good stuff. Also, optimal buttons. So good. Quick and easy. Let's see. Ooh, spells. Alright, new spells to learn. Ooh, but the decisions, Invis, Null Shock, Silence, and Blind, nah. I'm glad that they at least added the option so that if you don't necessarily like a spell that you already bought and already equipped to a character, you can always kind of just delete the spell. Yeah, this game, originally before the MP system existed in a lot of video games, Final Fantasy, at least the original version of it, it ran off the spell slot system that was found in Dungeons and Dragons. So like you would only be able to cast a certain number of a certain level spell. So instead of just having like boundless amounts of NP and just saying, oh, I want to cast fire 1 like 5 times in a row, you would have to be like, oh, I need to cast like fire 1 one time and then like fire 2 another time, but then like you have like, yeah, spell slots are kind of hard to explain, but anyways. You got cannonballs of steel behind to be taking on the great pirate Beaky. Keel haul 'em, boys! Oi, oi, Captain. We'll make their bones go crunch. I don't know why suddenly these pirates sounded as if they were a part of the Beatles. I don't know what I'm doing, man. I just came over here for the fun. Yeah, like in my Let's Play of Ocarina of Time, there's definitely going to be a lot of voices. which is just how this is how I roll anyways, but especially whenever I play Dungeons and Dragons, I have a specific, if I'm being a player, I have a specific way that my character acts, and if I'm the DM, then you can bet your sweet bippy that I have all kinds of voices for all kinds of characters. Whether it's the bar tavern that you're not supposed to talk to, or the big villain that you're just kind of like, and that the players just decide, we'll just ignore you. Sometimes for better or for worse. Hey, Sam, you're doing 3 hits now. Sweet. Yeah, fire. Oh yeah, and also one thing that was in the original version of Final Fantasy, but that got improved upon in later installments, was that if you targeted KO.
I be sorry, young masters. I'll be making no more fuss, I swear. I want ye to take me ship for ye troubles. Can ye find it in your heart to forgive an old pirate?
Here, take my entire ship! Just drop this entire boat on top of these guys. So yeah, I guess we have a boat now. But yeah, in Final Fantasy 1, in the original version, if you targeted the same creature multiple times, and then it got killed off before all the attacks could finish, it would just say that all the remaining attacks were non-effective, or were ineffective, which some people don't really like. Other people say like, hey, it gives the game a sense of strategy, so you have to like plan out exactly which enemies you're going to attack, and you can't just mash the attack button over and over again. And I can see both sides of the argument. I mean, most games nowadays just allow you to basically, if an enemy gets killed but you targeted that enemy, it just goes on to the next one. Most games do that nowadays, but I think the Golden Sun games actually still make it so that if you attack something that's already dead, it just makes the attack just miss. I think they did that in those games. Another Gigas Worm. Considering that ogres are fairly good when it comes to money, it might actually be a good idea to just grind a little bit of cash while we're here. Maybe get some more spells. Also, there's our nice new boat there. Yeah, Final Fantasy is actually fairly good about giving the players new modes of transportation as the game progresses. And in Final Fantasy 1, it's like, oh, by the way, do you like walking? Yeah, I guess. Do you want to go on a boat? Oh, heck yeah! Well, it's also because that because the way that the world is laid out, there's a pretty good reason why actually we need to go sailing as soon as we are. Also, yes, I'm keeping things mysterious for those of you who haven't played this game ever, because you know what? You know what's really funny? Spoilers for a 30-year-old game, am I right? I mean, like, I definitely wouldn't spoil a game that came out like last year or something. Like, I'm not going to spoil like the ending to like, I don't know, like Yakuza Kiwami, like Yakuza 0 or Persona 5 or anything like that. But like, this is Final Fantasy. Like, I mean, there's some pretty cool twists and turns throughout the game. But like, most people probably have played this game and know of the different tropes that come with this game and the entire rest of the series. Yay, Cyrus, you got a level. And you actually got a worthwhile amount of HP now. You finally broke 100. Congrats, my dude. Man, the Thief definitely gets so much better in the remakes. Because it can actually, like, do damage. It can actually do stuff, actually, just in general. Higher chance for crits. At least it seems like that. Yeah, I was actually for a while I was contemplating exactly who was going to be each class, but eventually I just decided like, hey, this makes sense. It's some crazy horses!
Hey, hey, hey! Come on over, it's time for some crazy taxi! Are you ready?
Speaking of Crazy Taxi, oh man. Crazy Taxi is just a fun game on its own, but if you ever have the chance to play the arcade version, that's a fun time. I've played the arcade version multiple times in my life, and just... it's so much fun. Actually, the first time I ever played the arcade version of Crazy Taxi with the actual, like, where you sit down, you have a gas pedal, you got a clutch, yeah, like having the actual machine. The first time I ever played it in the arcade was actually the best I had ever done at Crazy Taxi. I don't know what it was. It was just a matter of like, hey, it's like driving a car, except for not really. And these wolves can take a bit of a beating. Hey, critical hit. How dare you make me bleed my own blood? Here, lizard, lizard, lizard. Yeah, Jacqueline, you're gonna want to cure yourself. Feel that healing beat. And then ride the lightning. Alright. Alright, we got a decent chunk of money. Alright, get slow for Cyrus. And, let's see, silence or blind I mean, blind because it cures blindness, so why not? Plus, casting silence on enemies isn't really that helpful. Wow, we had exactly enough to buy 2 spells and just go stay at the inn for the night. We just went from some of the world's wealthiest people to being the absolute poorest people in a matter of seconds. Actually, I joke. It's always really funny how, like, at the beginning of games that involve currency, how you'll be just like barely scratching by with the amount of like the low amount of money that you'll have, and then once you get to like the mid to late game, you're just like swimming in money. Then again, in Yakuza 0, money is not only just currency to buy things, but also it's your way of leveling up. You literally throw money at yourself in order to level up. I'm not exaggerating, maybe a little, but in that game, you really do go between I'm the world's wealthiest man to I am suddenly poor as dirt. It's like even the homeless people probably have more money than Kazuma and Majima in that game. Hey, we found a saber. Nice. Enjoy your fate stay night. Sahagin! And big eyes! Those are some big eyes. I like Sahagin. These weird fish people. I really like him in Final Fantasy XIV, especially because they're tied to Leviathan. Yay! Hooray for missing gaze! There are multiple enemies that have gaze or like some sort of like eye ability in the game. Most of the time it just paralyzes if it hits, and I don't remember. I think there's one enemy that actually, if it uses gaze on you, it turns you to stone. I don't know if Medusa is the enemy I'm thinking of, or if that even is in the game. Oh yeah, that actually, seeing the number of hits actually reminds me of, if you use either haste or slow will actually make it so that the number of hits you do is just automatically 1, and if you use haste, it doubles the amounts of hits you do, which also improves the amount of damage you do. Finally, land ho! I guess you don't really say that when, like, you're already on the land. And welcome to Elfheim. Some more spells, but I'm too poor to buy them. Yeah, definitely gonna have to probably do some more cash farming at some point. Let's see, dagger, another saber. We might as well get a dagger. You can give that to Cyrus. Man, sabers are expensive. Should I get this or armor? Probably armor. Then again, the decisions you have to make when you have close to no cash. Okay, a couple of leather caps for our mages, and a helm for myself. Yeah, a lot of the really good items do go automatically to the fighter. Man, having an entire party of fighters, or even like a party of like 2 fighters and like a few mages or something, that would require a lot of money in order to keep everybody well suited. Then again, I guess you could just do the same thing that you do with other comps, especially with like the thief and the fighter, where you could just like you could always just inherit hand-me-downs. The prince has slept under Atos's curse for 5 years now. There must be some medicine that can rouse the sleeping, but where? I don't know. Man, this prince has a weird snore. The Dark Elf King Atos stole into the castle and placed a curse on our prince. Then Atos carted away the castle's treasures. The plot thickens and we have more mysteries that need to be solved. I guess now we're ace detectives. Okay, so we're at a pretty good spot. Let's see, we're almost all level 9. Good. Alrighty. So, that's going to end things off for the second episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy. In the next episode, we're going to continue our adventures in Elfheim and the surrounding areas. I'm Nero, thank you very much for watching this episode, and until next time, everyone, fare thee well.